What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video, I want to share with you 3 shocking new facts that we just found out about the SEC, because guys, these 3 things could completely destroy any credibility the SEC had left. In this video, I want to break down these 3 things, really show you how much pressure is mounting against the SEC, because I really do think it's going to go a long way in exposing all the corruption going on at the agency right now. Guys, we also have some breaking news in the Ripple SEC case to go over. We had over 500 different documents filed last night, including a brand new Amicus brief in support of Ripple that absolutely smokes the SEC. Guys, make sure to stick around for that. You are not going to want to miss it. Last of all, there has been a ton of rumors going around Twitter about a potential settlement tomorrow because of an SEC meeting that talks about a potential settlement. Guys, make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. I'm going to give you my opinions on it and whether or not I think a settlement is realistic based on this meeting. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These 3 simple things go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy and sell XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is one of my favorite exchanges and a great place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick, guys, Moomoo has been running some insane promotions that I don't think anyone should be missing out on. Right now, if you sign up with Moomoo using the link in the description of this video, you can win up to 15 free stocks. Each one of these stocks could be worth up to $2,000, and your chance of actually winning a Tesla stock right now is doubled if you sign up today. Moomoo also has stock picking quizzes where you could win a free share of Amazon. And guys, Moomoo is a regulated exchange. They have some great product offerings. So make sure to go sign up with Moomoo using the link in the description of this video and go get your free stocks. So guys, I want to start this video off and talk about 3 shocking facts that we just found out about the SEC. Because guys, the SEC is literally falling apart as we speak. And this is going to go such a long way in putting further pressure on the agency. The SEC is involved in some high-stakes litigation, and I think after we go over these 3 facts, you guys are going to realize that the SEC is going to have a very hard time maintaining these high-profile cases with the things going on at the agency right now. So let's start this off, and guys, these just get worse and worse as we go, so make sure to stick around for all of them. But first of all, Charles Gasparino reported earlier today that the SEC is losing senior leadership fast, and they have lost almost 20% of the senior leadership at the agency so far this fiscal year. So guys, this is a massive loss for an organization like the SEC. Most of the people, especially the senior people at an agency like the SEC, are typically there for 15 to 20 years. Because of this, the SEC is losing some of its most senior talent and is being forced to replace them with low-level employees. Not only is this going to drastically decrease the strength of the agency, but more importantly, it really just shows how unhappy people currently are working under Gary Gensler. Ultimately, this has the potential to lead to a death spiral where even more senior people at the SEC realize how unhappy they are working at the agency, and this is going to make even more people less likely to join the SEC. Ultimately, this is going to cause a huge issue for the SEC in keeping and recruiting good talent, and it's going to make the SEC much less competitive when they go after organizations like Ripple. Ultimately, I think this is a really good indicator at the current state of the SEC, because guys, the fact that all their senior people who have been there for a long time are leaving and they can't bring in good talent to replace them really just shows that the SEC is a failing organization. Now, I want to move on and get into some more shocking things, and guys, this one is almost unbelievable. Take a look at this tweet from John Deaton. John Deaton right here is actually quoting an SEC report where the SEC says, as a result, the SEC risks hiring attorneys who did not meet all the qualifications required for their position. So right here, the SEC is literally admitting that they are currently hiring attorneys that didn't even pass the bar. Guys, this is absolutely shocking. The SEC is losing high-level talent, and right now they are in such desperation mode. They are getting so little applications from people who are actually good attorneys that they are being forced to hire attorneys that didn't even pass the bar. Guys, this is massively concerning for the SEC. How is the SEC supposed to enforce the law if their attorneys didn't even pass the bar? I guess the SEC doesn't actually do a lot of enforcing of the law. They just look to expand their own regulatory jurisdiction outside of the law. So maybe from their perspective, they don't even need their attorneys to pass the bar. They just need to do whatever the SEC tells them to do. Obviously, I'm kidding there, but guys, how is the SEC supposed to beat Ripple when they don't even have real attorneys on their team? We have noticed for a while now that the SEC's legal work throughout this case has been pretty sketchy at best. So guys, maybe that's because they have been forced to reach into some very low-level talent. Guys, at the end of the day, that's just not going to work when you're fighting a company like Ripple. Ripple has the best lawyers in the entire world on their team. And guys, it looks like the SEC is taking some serious, desperate stretches to try to recruit some talent. Overall, this is a very concerning sign if you're working at the SEC, if you're part of the SEC, but ultimately a great sign if you're a cryptocurrency company that the SEC is looking to go after. Ultimately, I just think this is going to force the SEC to capitulate even faster on some of their hardcore cases like the Ripple case, and it's only a good sign for us XRP investors. So guys, you're probably thinking right now, with all of that, how does it get worse? Well guys, take a look at this. I mean, this was a bad day for the SEC. Tom Emmer actually broke the news that over the course of the last year, only 7% of SEC workers have actually been showing up to the SEC. Guys, the SEC is taking out massive lawsuits with the money of us, the taxpayers, and guys, they don't even show up to the office. It really doesn't get more embarrassing than this. The SEC might be one of the most out-of-touch agencies of all time. Not only do these people pursue different regulatory affairs that hurt the American public and use these regulatory affairs to expand their own jurisdiction, but they don't even show up to the office. Some of these people probably have no idea what's really going on in the world, and guys, just to cap things off, this is a huge embarrassment to the SEC. Everyone wants to leave, they can't hire good talent, and the people who are working there are too lazy to even show up to work. How embarrassing. But guys, I think this is all just a great sign in terms of Ripple's chances of beating the SEC in court. So guys, now I want to move on and talk about some breaking news in the Ripple SEC case. We actually had hundreds of documents filed to the docket last night, but all these documents are still private and we don't actually get to see them. What these documents relate to is actually both Ripple and the SEC's responses to each other's summary judgment briefs. They're essentially going in and giving their rebuttals to each other's arguments. Now, guys, these things are going to be extremely exciting to see. I think we get to see them Monday. Unfortunately, we do not get to see them yet, and we can't really get too much information out of either of these filings yet. But guys, we do see that both of each other's rebuttals are in, and this is going to be extremely exciting to look over come Monday. There looks like there is over 230 exhibits for the SEC and over 198 for Ripple. So guys, these are going to be very exciting to read through. I'm sure we're going to find out even more damning evidence against the SEC. And guys, when it comes to the SEC's evidence, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another 230 pages of absolutely nothing like we have seen with almost all their other briefs. Now, like I said, most of the documents filed last night we didn't actually get to read because they're all still private. We actually did get a document that was public, and that was another Amicus brief in support of Ripple. Now, guys, I thought this one was awesome. This one was actually from an independent law firm just looking to take the side of XRP holders because they're looking at the SEC's arguments and saying, look, this is wrong, this doesn't make sense, and what you're doing here is messed up. I really like this Amicus brief because it really came in from a different perspective. The first two we saw really focused on XRP utility, two companies saying, hey, we use XRP as a currency, therefore it can't be a security. Very compelling arguments and great in their own sense, but guys, I thought this one was pretty hard-hitting because it really just goes to use the SEC's own words against them. This brief really focuses on the fact that Gary Gensler himself and many people at the SEC have admitted publicly to Congress that the SEC does not have the authority it needs to regulate the cryptocurrency market. Well, guys, this begs the question. The SEC doesn't have the authority it needs to regulate the cryptocurrency market, then how can cryptocurrencies be securities? Inherently, the SEC has control over securities. So if cryptocurrencies were clearly securities, well, the SEC would have power over it. The entire idea that the SEC would need more power to regulate the cryptocurrency market literally in itself proves that most cryptocurrencies are not securities. So guys, like I said, I really liked the direction of this Amicus brief. It was extremely unique and really just proved things that weren't shown in the other two Amicus briefs. It really hit the SEC from a different angle, showing that the SEC themselves know they don't have power over the cryptocurrency industry, so how could XRP possibly be a security? Guys, I think this just really is going to go a long way in showing the court, hey, why are so many different people coming in and saying the SEC is completely out of line here? I think it's going to make it extremely obvious to the court. And guys, this law firm literally says it in this amicus brief. They literally just tell the court all the SEC wants to do is get more power. They want to claim XRP as a security so they can move in and take control of this new asset class. What this law firm is saying is that if the SEC actually had power over this industry, they would have already exerted this power. The only reason they have to ask for this power is because they don't have it. And because of this, fundamentally, the argument would be that if the SEC does not have power over this asset class, it's because this asset class is not made up of securities, and therefore XRP is not a security. Overall, I really like this argument. It came from a different direction, and I think it's very damning to the SEC's case against Ripple. So guys, I want to finish this video off and quickly cover some settlement speculation I saw going all around Twitter earlier today, and that has to do with the meeting going on at the SEC tomorrow regarding settlement. Now guys, I just want to let people know that this is actually a sunshine meeting. These sunshine meetings happen almost bi-weekly, and there's probably been like 100 of them since this Ripple SEC case started. So although there could be settlement talks about the Ripple SEC case at this meeting, none of us know if that happens or not. It's just important to point out that there's been a lot of these in between the start of this case and where we are now. So to say that because we have this meeting tomorrow, there is going to be a settlement, I just want to put your guys' expectations in place. Likely it won't be a settlement on the day of this meeting. Maybe they talk about the Ripple SEC case, maybe they don't. Just know there's been a lot of these meetings, so I wouldn't put too much weight on this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure if you did, you like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.